Hello you guys, welcome back to Dynamic Touch. Today is just a quick video. It has been brought to our attention that in one of the OLAPLEX products, there is an ingredient that is linked to infertility, and it's been banned in 2 countries so far. So I'm just gonna play a couple videos and a couple of TikToks about the conversation about what's going on and what people are talking about and what's being reported.
The cult favorite hair product OLAPLEX No.3 has been making headlines, but not for its success stories of hair transformations, of which there are many. This month, a ban was put in place by the EU regulatory authority, and it starts fairly soon. And this all over the ingredient LILIAL, which has been linked to infertility, miscarriages, or disruptions in fetal development. OLAPLEX says the ingredient was just used in their product as a fragrance, and it has since been removed. Joining us live this morning to answer a few questions and address some concerns that folks have is Associate Professor and Board Certified DC Dermatologist Dr. Noelle Scherber. Good to see you, Dr. Scherber. Thank you for joining us.
This is a hot topic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, OLAPLEX, I've used it before, highly touted as almost a miracle product in terms of its transformations. There it is, very familiar site there. So let's talk about this ingredient, LILIAL. What is it and what's the concern here? Elaborate on that.
Well, you're exactly right in your introduction that LILIAL is a fragrance. So it's not what we consider an active ingredient, meaning something that's designed to absorb. It's something that is just a fragrance additive to products.
And this is banned in the UK due to it being linked to fertility issues. What do we know about that connection? Because there's some dispute about how strong that link is.
Sure. So we know that the original safety study was published back in 2019. So this is something that has been on our radar for a while. And the reason it's coming into the public awareness now is that March 2022 was the deadline for products to remove this ingredient in the European Union.
Right.
And the safety concerns stem from animal studies where the animals were fed LILIAL, so it was not applied to their hair, it was ingested. And they saw that at high doses, there could be effects, particularly on male rat fertility.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this ban just happens to be taking effect later this month, and it's been around. They had been discussing it for quite some time, so it wasn't rushed off of the shelves. You also mentioned they were taken in high dosage by the lab rats, which is different from how humans would use it. It's on their hair. It's not ingested. Is this a case where dosage level matters?
Yes, and there's a common phrase used in medicine, which is the dose makes the poison, meaning that a very low level of exposure to something may be okay, whereas a high level of exposure can be problematic. We think that a hair application of, let's say, OLAPLEX, something containing LILIAL, gives 1/10,000th of the level of exposure that was associated with problems in these animal studies. Now, with suggested use of OLAPLEX, it's a short contact product only on hair. Hair is not very absorbent. So my concern more stems from some of that trending OLAPLEX bun situation you may have seen, where people are saturating their scalp and hair with OLAPLEX, putting it back in a bun and leaving it on for 1 or 2 days. So I know a lot of the viral beauty hacks that emerge are specifically because they're not used as directed. It's another way to use something. But in this case, I don't think that with the older versions of OLAPLEX, perhaps sustained exposure over several days like that was what was intended. That being said, they have reformulated. So if you have a newer bottle, the ingredient shouldn't even be in there.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned that. It has been reformulated. This is just period across the globe, right? Not just for the EU. But I still have to ask, why was it banned in the EU and not here, not in the States?
Yeah, there are a lot of differences between European ingredient standards and US. One of the common statistic cited is that in the EU, there are 1,400 banned ingredients. In the US, we only have a small number. Partly that's because in the EU, there's some ingredients banned that would never even be used in beauty products, like jet fuel. But on the flip side, as a dermatologist, I'm concerned that there's certain awesome sunscreen ingredients that they have approved in Europe that we don't have approved here in the US. So there are differences on both sides where the US bans something that we can see in Europe and vice versa. And with this, they're just being very cautious because of this potential animal study link and because this ingredient is not essential. All of the products with LILIAL can function just as well without it.
Yeah, it's purely just a fragrance. Really quickly, I know you mentioned use as intended, which is key with any product. Are there any special case scenarios, though, where certain people, demographics, should not be using it just to be on the safe side?
I think there is so much personal freedom when it comes to choosing products, and your comfort level is really what's important. So if you have an older bottle of OLAPLEX and it worries you, swap it out for something new. I will say, while OLAPLEX is getting a lot of the light right now because people are very interested in this product and it's so popular, I would be personally more concerned with fragrance, because an application of a fragrance containing LILIAL gives 70 times more exposure than a hair product. And I think I wouldn't be a very good physician if I didn't add that so many people experience infertility. We think it's 1 in 8 couples. Yeah. So if that's something that you are experiencing and you're concerned about OLAPLEX, don't blame yourself. It's nothing that using a hair product caused. We do not think that that is a direct link in humans. So I just wanted to add that because I know that's such a difficult thing for people to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot more common than I think folks realize, as you mentioned there. Some really good tips. Thank you so much. Associate Professor and Board Certified DC Dermatologist, Dr. Noelle Scherber. Always good to have you on the show.
Oh, it's great to see you. Thank you so much.
Likewise. All right, Steve.
I also want to encourage all of you ladies who have purchased OLAPLEX to check the ingredient list. I just checked 2 of the OLAPLEX bottles that we were going to give away, and both of them still have this ingredient in it. So I will be contacting OLAPLEX to see what can be done about that. So anyway, I'm just happy that we could share this information. So definitely tell us what you guys think below about this whole situation, about this ingredient that causes infertility. Let us know down below, and thank you guys for tuning in.